I'm going to call to order this meeting of the Laredo City Laredo Fine Arts and Culture Committee. Today is September 18, 2025. It's approximately 5:30 p.m. I just will go to the next item, which is the Pledge of Allegiance. Flags are behind me here. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And you do us a favor and roll call.
Yes, sir. Jorge Fontana, absent. Armando Lopez.
Present.
Melissa Amici.
Present.
Gail A. Rodriguez, absent. Alan Hoffman Green. How do you say your last name?
Holmgreen,
Holmgreen.
present.
We have a call.
Okay. All right. Before you have the minutes of the last meeting that we had on August 21st, 2025, if you've had an opportunity to review them, I'll entertain a motion to approve. If not, take a couple of minutes to look through them and see if there's any additions or corrections you'd like to make. And that's item number 4 on our agenda. Do I hear a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Let's move by Ms. Amici. Is there a second?
Second.
By Mr. Holmby. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Minutes carried. Okay. Voting rule 5 is the public comment section. Is there anybody signed up for public comments today? No. Okay. All right. Voting rule 6 is communications and announcements. First one. You shall handle that one?
Yes.
Okay.
So we do have a new appointee, Mr. Alan Holmgren.
Holmgreen, yeah.
If you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and
Sure.
introduce yourself.
And whose appointee is he?
He is District 8, Alicia Figueroa.
Okay, good.
So, well, where do I begin? I guess I started off as an educator. I went to college, got a math degree and art minor, even though I had more hours in art. And I used to teach when I was in college. I taught community school at the San Antonio Art Institute. And let's see. After that, I taught school in Eagle Pass, secondary school, taught high school, and taught mathematics there. I had a community school called, well, it doesn't matter what it was called, but anyway, it was called the Clay Station. And I lived there for 5 years, and then I moved here in 1994. And since then, I've done a multiplicity of things. I've taught secondary school here. I taught at Alexander. I taught at United South. I taught math at United South, and I taught art at Alexander. And after that, I was an adjunct for 4 years and kind of helped the ceramic department get going. And I taught design and sculpture and ceramics 1 through 3. And in about 2010, I decided I wasn't making enough to raise my kids and the wife, so raise the wife. Anyway, so I started doing construction again, which is something I did to put my way through college. So that's kind of the history of it. I'm a residential remodeler. Anyway, so that's pretty much it.
All right, well, welcome to the commission.
Thank you.
We look forward to your input.
Thank you.
All right.
So,
Any-
well,
Okay.
we do have more updates.
Okay.
So for this past meeting, September 15th, there was an appointee for District 4, Miss Mary Province. So we're just waiting for her to take oath with City Secretary.
What was the name?
Did you say Mary Poppins?
I know.
Province.
Province?
Oh, I know.
Yes,
Okay.
she's an instructor at Laredo College. She's one of the last ones standing
I
there.
know her.
Yes.
It was a short stint there.
And we're still pending for District 2, 5, and 7. I'm reaching out to them. If you guys do have any, but you went to the meetings or no?
I didn't go, no.
To which ones?
To the council,
The council meeting
Oh, no,
to
yeah.
discuss?
I wasn't. No.
2, 5, and 7.
But 2, 5, and 7, I mean, if we recommended LC, can we look at somebody from TAMU? I mean, we can get Jesse Shaw or Julio Mendez back on the council. They were good when they were here. I would like to see Jesse back on here if he's interested. But that way we've got representation for both of them.
Yeah, I can reach out.
Maybe
I know that I spoke with Jesse and he's very busy because now he moved up to a
Yeah.
higher position at
Yeah.
TAMU. But maybe one of the other art instructors, because I know that they have a lot of them coming in, would want to participate. So
Yeah,
I'll
that would be
contact
great.
him.
Yeah, that'd be great. That would be really great. Thank you.
Item B,
So I'm still in the process of mapping out the public art archive. So for that one, I'm working with the IST department for them to do the back end of things, which is, the programming aspect of it, where we would have one location where everyone can go and see all the public art throughout Laredo. But it's taking me some time to start building it out since I am only one person. And for the mapping, you actually have to go to the sites to, get the coordinates and everything and take photos. And then from there, I'm setting it up where I send the photos to the IST, and then they're starting to build out the map for Laredo.
What is it that you're doing with this? What is the public archive for? What are you doing with the schools on the GIS mapping?
So that's part of what you sent me the email for, of building out the archives of all the artwork throughout Laredo.
Oh, yeah.
It was like a spreadsheet where each tab has the different type of art. So we have one for the murals where I got some of the information from the CVB,
Okay.
which was the coffee tour
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of. And they also made a brochure, or they're going to make a brochure that has a map of all the murals. And I'm also working with Keep Laredo Beautiful as well, because they've also done several murals.
Yeah.
And I've been building out the sculptures because that hasn't been included with any departments yet. So I've gone so far downtown for a couple of sculptures. I went to the police station that also has a memorial sculpture as well. And then there's also the veteran sculpture that we have here. So that's just taking me a while to actually physically go to the locations and build out, but we're in the process of building it out and making it user friendly. So if anyone from the city wants to go, or anyone in the community wants to go onto that site, once we have it established, it's going to be very user friendly, where they can clearly see each section, whether it's 2D or 3D. Once we start adding more mediums, we'll add more tabs there.
Great.
And I'm looking into that website that you sent me, where we can possibly work with them to integrate everything, because all they said that we need to do is send them the spreadsheet with the information.
Good.
So once we do that, we can send it, and it could be also on that website that you sent as well.
Awesome. On the murals, did you just do like a physical inventory downtown, or did you reach out to the TERS and see? Because I just heard Emily Bayless will be working on a new mural downtown, and then there are a few others that have been set up down there by the TERS, the tax increment zone, redistricting zone.
Yeah.
Or have you reached out to them?
I
See
haven't
whether
reached out to them yet, but I have gotten in contact where they would be letting me know, and at some point I'm gonna actually go to their meetings.
Oh, good.
Where I can go and discuss, how we can collaborate with
Yeah.
them as well, because I know that's something that we did want to do.
Yeah.
So going forward, that is something that we're gonna do. They invited me to the unveiling for one of the murals that they did recently. So we're already in contact with them, and we're reaching out to them to collaborate and further get, images that they're doing.
Great.
But if you guys have any information on things that aren't added to the list that I already sent you, just let me know so I can physically go and start taking those pictures of everything. Because we want to have those high resolution photos, so when people see them online, they can see accurate, depiction of those pieces. And as much information as possible, because there are some murals that there isn't even the name of the artist or anything because they were done back in the early 2000s or 90s where the people that are there now in those divisions don't know the artist. So if you guys can speak to who created that piece or if there's anything that's missing that we need to include, just let me know so I can start building out that spreadsheet so we can have a full archive of all the artwork throughout Laredo.
Great.
Thank you for that, we work on that. Item C, developments in artist contest.
Yes, so this was something that was brought up in the last meeting. I believe, Melissa, you said that you were, gonna have a contest.
Oh, yeah, that was the poetry thing. that
Yes,
we
the
were trying to
poetry
grow in.
contest.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we met with the purchasing department, and they said we will be able to give out prizes. The thing is that, which is another item that we do have, which we'll discuss, is that what is approved to be stamped in will have to align with the evaluation criteria that gets approved by City Council. And the person that does get selected for that prize will need to complete a W-9 form.
Sure.
So, and we'll have, and if it's someone that's underage, then their parents will have to be the one that fills out the W-9 form. Because I know that we were going to do some of the contests with LISD and UISD, so we wanted to make sure that we'll be able to give them some kind of funds for them designing that piece. So with that, it's very good because we're doing writing contests and we're doing these design contests, and we know now that we're able to actually give them out prizes.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
I have a question about the W-9, and I mean, is that going to be putting a burden on some of these families when we look at some of these school districts? Would that prohibit some people from being able to participate? I mean, if their parents are going to get stuck with a tax, bill on something, or we're going to be able to keep that under a certain amount so it doesn't provide a barrier for some of those kids to participate, or can we help offset that? I don't know. It's a lot of questions.
Okay, so this was something that we did discuss, and with the funds that we have, we will have to do the W-9, like regardless of it. So we don't know how we can circumvent doing that because we are using, bond funds for that. But we do have the process where we would help them fill it out if they do need help with it.
My thing is just putting a burden on them to pay additional taxes when that might prohibit it. But is the W-9, and it's been a while, but is that only paid on anything earned over $500?
Yeah, I think that
So
there's I think it was $500 or $600.
Okay, good. So
that-
maybe if we can maybe that's a way that we can avoid it being
Yeah.
a burden to a family to
Yeah, where they can actually get the funds
Yeah.
that we're going to be giving out.
Yeah.
So there is that, and then for those that are under the age of 18, it will have to be that the parents would be something to fill out. So
That's great. Thank you for looking into all of that.
Item D, partnership status updates.
So I got a hold of the fine arts coordinator from LISD because we spoke with TEMU, LC, and UISD, and they're also interested in engaging in the contests that we're going to be doing for the projects, which is awesome. I met with the LC humanities faculty and the dual enrollment contact as well. So for the project, which is also the sidewalk poetry, they're also interested in incorporating it as an assignment as well. So we can also be offering it to those dual enrolled students, and the LC faculty are very excited to be able to engage, with us and be able to get their students interested about learning about the history of Laredo. So that's really awesome.
Okay. That it? Okay. Section E, attendance update for the art workshop.
So we have done artist workshops for 10U, and for that we had 65 attendees, and that ranged from the freshmen all the way to the seniors. And I got a lot of feedback from some of them that stayed after that were interested in volunteering. So if they are paired with an artist that, you know, is more like senior and established, that they do want to learn from them, which is always very good. So that makes our total number of overall attendees 163 artists that we have, you know, met with. And I'm gonna be reaching out again to Laredo College to see if they do also want to offer those workshops there as well. And for that, it would be that we're also reinforcing with them that the city's here, you know, to help them, watch them grow. And if they do want to have like volunteer experience or start gaining the experience to participate in these projects, that we're here to support them and help them. So it's really good.
Yeah.
Okay. Item F, status update on the fiscal year 2026 annual public park plan.
Okay, so one of the documents that you guys have in front of you is the public arts plan. I continue to build out and meet with the possible departments. The last time that we spoke, we were pending to meet with Public Works, and we did get their go-ahead for their projects as well. So we pretty much have met with everyone that we need to make sure that, you know, what we're doing is feasible. And similar to other departments, they weren't able to let us know specifically what sidewalks are going to be fixed. And the reason being is that in a month from now, or the way that they explained it is, in a month from now, we don't know that sidewalk wherever is going to be broken. So they can't tell me that for the upcoming year that this many sidewalks are going to be improved. But for instance, we do know the expansions, and that's where the engineering and the parks department will let me know when they are doing those expansions. But for us specifically, what we want to focus on is doing those contests and getting those stamps made. So once we have like those things made, we can even do pictures and you know, do an unveiling once we actually have the sidewalk set. But the main thing is get those things made, so when there is a sidewalk that needs to be done, we would just go through the stamps and bring it to the location to actually stamp it into the cement.
How do they budget? I mean, they have to have an idea, or an approximation of, based on previous work, how much sidewalk work is done in the fiscal year for budget purposes.
So the way they explained to me is that it differs per year.
Yeah, but
So
I mean, it's 2024. We did this. But I'm just saying that so that so they don't say, well, we don't know. Well, but there's a probable range of stuff so that I think the planning can be done. I mean, obviously we won't know the location, but we'll go do a route.
the guesstimation.
The guesstimation.
And since I haven't gotten an answer for the guesstimation, what I want to do is base this year, when we actually are going to be incorporating and doing these, we can start building out our own database. And going forward for the upcoming years, we know that the previous year or previous 2 years, because we want this to be an ongoing project where, you know, writers would be able to get their work seen throughout the years of Laredo improving, fixing sidewalks, doing expansions. So we can start kind of gearing things towards that as we go forward with things, because we'll have our own data that we can pull from. So that's what I'm hoping for going forward.
Well, I'm just saying, don't take that for a complete answer.
Yeah.
So that, you know, we can. I think there's a reluctance to cooperate with us sometimes. I just want to make sure that we don't have off. Okay. Item G, overview of evaluation criteria, themes, and storage sheets.
Oh wait, so what I was gonna mention, we're also presenting October 6th at City Council. So we're presenting the plan to them October 6th. So it's gonna be for the upcoming fiscal year. And with that, part of our ordinance is that we need to have the evaluation criteria. So the other form that's in front of you goes over the specific like panel for the committee. And what purchasing informed us is if we're doing the formal RFP, then it would be city staff that would be on the panel. If we're doing an informal RFP, then it would be through, you know, the selected people comprised of this list.
What would be the difference between, when would we use one or the other, or when would they, yeah, like, I understand, like, an example of what kind of project the city would want to be involved in oversight.
For that, it would be projects that are over a certain amount.
Okay.
So if they're, I think they changed it to $100,000 per project. So if it's a project that's over $100,000, then it would have to go through the formal process.
Okay.
So since our projects are, we have a lot of them, but they're not at that max point, then we're good to have doing the other process. And for that, this is the information that purchasing gave us, and I did a theme and some information there that if you do want to go through, where it just goes over the different themes of the locations that we can have things, and then some design prompts. Now I want to emphasize the design prompts are just there to give artists an idea of what they can do for those specific projects, but don't want to limit them to what the prompts are. And the reason being is if you're giving so many options, then a lot of the times that indecision comes into place when there's so many things that you can do. So we kind of wanted just to narrow things down to these 8 different themes, and then the artists can choose their own prompt, or they can come up with something on their own.
Where do you have that, Vanessa?
It's on the other Staples form. So if you go to the annual plan evaluation criteria,
This last.
yes, and then just turn the page. So each one has, like the utility cabinet murals, we broke down for each theme, different prompts that they can use. Same thing for the sidewalk poetry, and every project will have specific themes needed.
Could you explain a little bit about these projects for Alan, since it's his first time here, too, so he can understand kind of just a quick overview?
Like, where would these be? Would be my
A
question.
schools, in front of
For-
Schools?
So if you go to the other form, which is the annual plan, if you turn to the second page of the annual plan, which is the other stapled form, which is the utility cabinet mini murals. Yeah, that page. So for that one, we're gonna do murals on the utility cabinets. The departments listed there are the departments that I've already met with that got approval for us to do those murals on. And for these ones, they will have to go on city property, and we're gonna do them on traffic cabinets and then also some in the parks. So we wanna do 4 per district. Our main goal with this plan is to have citywide equity, so every district has representation. So with every project that we're doing, we want to make sure that we're inclusive, and that we're starting to get people to know about our program, and we're helping educate artists and help them grow. So part of the contest that we're doing is we're offering specific utility boxes to TAMU, Laredo College, LASD, UISD. We're also going to do some open to the public as well, so we can incorporate and get as many people interested in our program and make sure that all the projects that we're doing is seen throughout the city of Laredo.
Cool.
So there's that one. The other one, which is at the bottom, which is the sidewalk poetry that we mentioned. So that one is where we would be doing contests where they would be doing short stories or poems, and when the city goes to either do an expansion for a sidewalk or a sidewalk improvement, what we would do is we would print out those stamps and get them stamped into the cement, because during the curing process, there's a point where you can go and actually put stuff into the cement. And what our program does is we work off of projects that the city's already doing. So how we get our funds is based off of capital improvement projects, and we get 2% of that funding from art. So we've been, since 2019, we've had our ordinance, and we still have funds from 2019. So that's why a lot of our projects right now are going to be all throughout the city. Going forward, what we want to do is have them tied to that specific project. And for this one, it's going to be an ongoing project because the city is going to continue to be improving sidewalks and doing expansions. So this can be a creative way for us to integrate literary arts with the visual arts as well, and be able to give them a stipend for them to write something.
Great.
So you're coming in on the ground floor on this.
Yes. So then we have the Jumpstart Creativity. So these are ground hopscotch murals, where it's basically just a mural on the ground that's hopscotch for kids.
Hopscotch.
Yes, and if you turn the
I
page,
see.
it has like a little design, a sample. And from that, we want to put them outside the schools. So where we have to place things has to be on city property. Sidewalks are considered city property. And this is a way that we can, engage kids, engage learning, and get them to start appreciating the arts early on.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then we have the mini gallery posts. These are mini gallery. So it's just like a miniature gallery where not all artists do huge, large scale, sculptures or paintings. This is a way that we can pay artists that do smaller forms of art, ceramics, sculpture. We can even do photography where they can design something inside of these boxes. I've already met with the districts and TAMU, Laredo College, where they want to incorporate this into an assignment where the students would be creating something to be designed in that gallery, and you can do a contest for those who win, would have their works on display, and we would have a rotating gallery throughout the year. And we can have another thing too, which I spoke with other departments, is we can have different themes as well. For instance, there's Mental Health Awareness Month. We can do themes that specifically have artwork that does, reflect that as well. And for another aspect of these mini gallery posts, I'm working with the Laredo College and TAMU engineering students, where they would have an actual assignment where they would design one of these posts. And then our engineering department is going to go over the feasibility of it, and then from there we would make them or get them made. And the last one that we do have is the library murals, and those ones would be murals that are throughout the libraries that we have in Laredo. And for that one, we did get information that we'll be able to do the Laredo letters outside of the Moss branch. And I know you guys have seen them before, with the huge Laredo letters. So for the Moss branch, that's what we're looking at doing the mural for that one.
I have a question, Vanessa.
Yes.
When we first talked about this plan and the location, the commission had talked about not limiting ourselves, and I'm just curious as to why we're just only focusing on, like, for the hopscotch plan, only elementary schools and public libraries, when we had talked about other public spaces that, we'd like to do that to encourage for a population that, like, what I'd like to know too is like what percentage of Laredo's population actually comes to libraries? Because I see we're focusing on murals at both and hopscotch on libraries, but what percentage of our population actually come here? Because we had talked about really making it, we felt it was important that these public art pieces be very accessible to people that maybe we're not reaching. And I'm just curious as to how bound to this are we? They're going to have to be library murals, because we're not going to look at other public spaces that we have.
So this is phase one of this.
Right.
And what we're doing, with the library stats, there's over 900,000 people that come to visit the libraries throughout the year. And, with the Laredo population, that's a lot of people. There's probably people that come here.
Yeah, I was going to say, how many of those are repeats?
And for
Yeah,
the
because we don't-
programs as well, there are, a lot of engagement with the programs that they do have throughout the library. We're looking going forward to incorporate these murals throughout the city as well. Right now, we're just focusing on areas where there would be kids engaging as well. But we do also have openings, for instance. Like I said, we're going to do citywide equity. And let's say, for instance, for, the utility boxes, that we're going to be able to tweak the plan as we go. So let's say that we don't have 32 boxes for whatever district, we'd be able to do a hopscotch mural for, one of the locations that we do select. So we're open to doing different locations as well, not
That's
just
my
limited
question.
to the ones that are listed there.
Yeah, that was my question too about the utility boxes, because I think when we spoke last about it, it was that TxDOT owned a lot of those that we had proposed to begin with. So did we go back and look at that? Or are we still hoping to find the 32 through Parks and Rec, which I know you said that that's what you had found out, that some of those boxes also, that we might be able to make up our numbers that way, or we're just hoping 32, and then we'll figure out, like you said, with the hopscotch, or is the mural, and I want to talk to you about the library mural too, because I went to a conference in Austin, and I want to share some information with you on that. And it's another way we might be able to do like a collaborative effort with the cultural district. So I'll get with you separately on that. But no, those are my questions. So you're saying for phase 1, you want to do it like this. It's a little bit easier. It's a little bit more of a sure thing. We can make the splash that we want to make. And then, but year 2, we can flesh out our annual plan and expand that to have murals in more in other public places.
Yeah, and then as we're going forward, like we're meeting with different departments and getting to understand what their capital improvement projects are, so we can work closely with them as they're expanding things as well and incorporating these projects into the expansions that they're doing. Because I don't know if you guys heard that they're doing the sports complex as well. So one of the things, which is the other item, which is Keep Laredo Beautiful, was also interested in working with us and doing murals for also the sports complex. So we want to work with these departments and get them to start collaborating with us. A lot of them are open to it as well. And going forward, like incorporating things like that we've already done all the research for, we already have volunteers that do want to help out, that we can start doing these projects, and flesh them out a little bit better, especially since this is our first
Right.
annual plan. But yeah, we do want to expand this to throughout the city. And this is something that, we want to do and is part of LAMP and part of what the plan is going forward. And, we don't want to just limit it just to those areas.
Yeah, I mean, that would be the concern that I've had. And then the 900,000 number for the visitors to the library, I would be curious to see what the true number on that is, like how many of those are repeat and how many, what is that? Because it sounds like an impressive number, but if it's the same families that are coming through or whatever, I'm just curious to see what that really looks like. But thank you. Thanks.
We want to keep Laredo Beautiful mural up.
So I met with Keep Laredo Beautiful, and they're interested in doing a mural for the upcoming fiscal year. But the other thing too is that they do several murals throughout the year, and they want to collaborate with us where they would be, since they are a nonprofit, they get a lot of their funding from, what's it called? Donations, and they want for them to come here with the design aspects, and we can, help improve on the actual designs. So they would come to us with the designs, and we would work with them and collaborate with them. So, you guys can have a say into the specific designs that are being put out there. And they do have a lot of murals. I know that they're doing one for Make a Difference Day. They're going to be doing it at the health department. And for that one, they're gonna keep me posted on the design for that, where I can reach out to you guys and get your input on that as well. But going forward, they do wanna work with us. I also met with the health department, since it is gonna be housed over there. And whenever they are doing projects over there as well, they do wanna let me know, so I can come to you guys and we can discuss and get your input on those designs.
Go ahead. Do you have a question or
Yeah.
comment?
Well, before we schedule the next meeting, I do want to talk a little bit about the mural. It's only 6 o'clock. I wanted to talk a little bit about the murals. I went to a conference in Austin, and there was a group there that is recognized by the Texas Commission of the Arts. Are you familiar with that program and how they fund specific artists or programs in the state, and then will provide grants to you when you use those artists or groups or whatever? They do library murals, and they do mosaics and work with tiles. and are open to coming down here to help plan a mural, and they work with the community, so the community is also part of it. So I'd really like to see if maybe, especially like if we go like in the library in the South or something like that, that we can engage the community. I know I've heard in the past that some of the issues with some of these murals are there may not be like community investment in it, and so they're defaced. And I think this would be a nice preemptive way to have the community feel a part of it, and not us going in there telling them what they need or what they might like. So I want to share that information with you. And I talked with the cultural district. We talked a little bit about, maybe being able to help to find some of those necessary matching grants so that we can do it. But I'll forward you that information because I think you'll find it really interesting, especially as we're looking this year at library grants. They kind of focused, that was kind of one of their main areas, and they're really beautiful. And I don't know, just be something kind of different that we can do.
Thank you. Yes, send me the information, please, so I can look into it.
Okay.
Yes.
Section I is schedule of remaining 2025 meetings, including dates, location, and time.
So if you go to the last page, where it's a meeting calendar, we had a lot of trainings, and we need to have our meetings set for the upcoming year. And we need to be consistent with the actual days that we have, like the meeting. So if it's the third Thursday, unless it's like a holiday or the city's closed for some reason, that we would move it either to the week before or after. So for the remaining of the year, I already have the dates that are set up for those times. And we need to start.
October 16th, November 20th, and November 18th. So was that consistent with the way we've been doing it now?
Yeah. And what is it? For December, I would update for like the upcoming year. So you guys would get the information for the upcoming year. So if you need to plan things accordingly, you already have the dates for when we're going to be meeting throughout the year.
So before you have a proposal for us to do a meeting on October 16th, November 20th, and December 18th. Do I hear a motion to approve those dates?
So
Do I have Ms. Amici, a second? Moving, second?
Second.
All right. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Nay. It would be at the same time, 5:30.
Yes.
I will now entertain a motion to adjourn. Is there a motion?
So moved.
All right.
Second.
Second, okay. All in favor?
Bye.